The truth about Atlantis, the lost city that was never found. All right, let's talk about Atlantis. You know, that mysterious underwater city with futuristic technology, giant crystal power sources, and somehow, always perfectly sculpted Greek abs. Yeah, that one. If you've ever watched a History Channel documentary at 2 a.m. or scrolled through the darker corners of YouTube, you've probably been told that Atlantis was a hyper-advanced civilization that vanished overnight because reasons. Aliens? Nukes? Bad real estate investments? Who knows? But let's back it up a bit. So where did this Atlantis story even come from? Believe it or not, the first person to talk about Atlantis wasn't some tinfoil hat-wearing TikToker. It was Plato. Yes, that Plato. The ancient Greek philosopher with big ideas and an even bigger beard. Around 360 BCE, Plato wrote two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, where he described Atlantis as a powerful island nation that existed 9,000 years before his time. According to him, Atlantis tried to conquer Athens but failed miserably and then sank into the sea in a single day and night. Tragic. Or convenient. Because here's the thing. Plato literally made it up. Atlantis was a metaphor, a cautionary tale about hubris, corruption, and what happens when your ego gets bigger than your continent. It's like saying Gotham City is proof that Batman exists. Nice story, but chill. That didn't stop people from believing anyway. Despite being pretty clear that Atlantis was just an allegory, people throughout history have been obsessed with proving it was real. Why? Well, who doesn't want to believe in a secret, ancient super civilization that's better than us in every way? In the late 1800s, an American politician named Ignatius Donnelly, because of course it was an American politician, published a book claiming Atlantis was the mother of all ancient civilizations. Egypt came from Atlantis. The Maya, Atlantis. Indoor plumbing, Atlantis. He didn't have evidence, but hey, confidence is half the battle, right? After that, Atlantis fever took off. It got mixed with mysticism, aliens, New Age spirituality, and eventually found its way into every sci-fi movie with a budget for underwater sets. So, where is it then? Yes. The million-dollar question. People have looked everywhere for Atlantis. The Mediterranean, the Caribbean, Antarctica, yes, really, and even off the coast of Florida, because nothing says advanced civilization like being neighbors with Disney World. The most common guess is the island of Santorini, where a volcanic eruption destroyed the Minoan civilization. Sounds dramatic, but here's the catch. The timelines don't match, and the Minoans, well, they didn't have ray guns and flying ships. Also, if a continent sinks, you'd think we'd find something, right? Like ruins? Statues? Maybe a welcome sign? Spoiler alert, we haven't, because there's nothing to find. But what if Atlantis was aliens? You knew this was coming. Some folks believe Atlantis wasn't just a lost city. It was a colony of ancient aliens with super technology, psychic powers, and probably a pyramid-shaped Wi-Fi router. And when they got bored of Earth, they packed up and left. That's the nice thing about conspiracy theories. You never have to prove anything. You just keep adding layers until logic gives up and walks away. So, what was Plato really trying to say? Let's circle back to Plato before we completely lose him to Reddit threads. Atlantis was a warning. It was his way of saying, hey, don't let your society get too greedy, too corrupt, or too obsessed with power, or it'll collapse. Basically, Plato gave us a philosophical TED Talk, and 2,000 years later, we turned it into a treasure hunt for ancient scuba diving Atlanteans. Final thoughts. The real mystery. Atlantis is the perfect myth. It has just enough detail to sound real, just enough mystery to stay unsolved, and just enough wild theories to keep the internet busy forever. But maybe that's the point. Maybe Atlantis isn't about what we've lost, but about what we want to believe, that once upon a time, there was a better world, or that we're not the most advanced civilization to ever exist. Because let's face it, if Atlantis had Wi-Fi and we still lose signal in the bathroom, we've got a long way to go.